Hello. Okay, we are going to talk about mean girls, bullying behavior, just the nasty stuff that sometimes creeps in onto school playgrounds. So, my kids have been in a lot of different schools because we've moved a couple times. And even in the schools with the kindness posters and they have kindness week, the bullying and the mean girl behavior still happen on the yard. It's just part of it. And we're looking for ways to reduce that all the time. But it's happening, and chances are, if it's happening, it's either happening to your child or your child is somewhat a part of it. And I know that that stinks to hear as a parent. I get it. My children have been on both sides. I've had kids who have been bullied, and I have one child who got caught up in the mean girl behaviors, and it caught me by surprise because she's a really kind kid. But here's the thing with these mean girl and bullying behaviors. Now, I'm not talking about bullies, like the straight up bullying, and we can talk about that later. But for the mean girl, it's the social peer pressure. It's convincing other people in your group to do these unkind behaviors. And when we stop to think about it, it kind of makes sense that it's easy to get swept up in it because you want to join in, you want to fit in, you want to be included in things, and it's easy to go with the crowd. It's easy to go with the flow. It's very hard to stand up to people that you are friends with or that you want to be friends with. It's hard to say, this isn't right, this isn't kind. You're almost like a whistleblower, the kid version of a whistleblower. And it's hard to do that. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up to your friends. And it feels good to be in a crowd, or maybe they fear that if they don't participate, they'll get targeted next. And social rules are tricky. Our kids are trying to navigate this. It is hard to be a kid. There's no rule book for them, and they're trying to figure it out as they go. And every playground has a different set of social rules. So they're trying to figure out where they fit in and how they want to be. Are they going to be this type of kid or this kind of kid? Who are they going to be with? But social aggression or social bullying, and sometimes it's called relational bullying, is really a dangerous thing, and we need to be paying attention. We need to be looking for it. Here's why that's hard. Most kids who use this kind of bullying behaviors, they're really good at hiding it. So relational bullying often goes unnoticed, it goes unchecked, it gets dismissed. Oh, they're just being kids, kids will be kids. That doesn't work because it leads to exclusion, constant relentless teasing and taunting, conditional friendships. All of this falls under this relational or social bullying, and it can quickly escalate to full-blown bullying. There's a difference between kids being just mean every once in a while and bullying. And so bullying, just so that you have the clear definition, it's a repeated behavior, so it's consistent, it is intentional. You've asked them to stop, they know it's not supposed to keep happening, and it still does. And it's an imbalance of power. So it is one kid is older, one kid's younger, there's a group versus the outsider. One kid it's all the boys against a girl, and bullies go for the easy target, which means they go for the kid who is different or the kid who appears to be different. So it could be based on a number of different things. It could be shoe color in kindergarten. It could be the new kid is the outsider. It could be the kid who doesn't look like the others. Physical appearances are often the root cause of bullies targeting them. And it's disgusting and it's awful, and there's tons of bullying support if you need it. You do not have to go through this alone. But my daughter got sucked into this behavior, and I didn't even realize it. She wanted to be part of this group of girls so badly when we first moved to one of our schools that they convinced her to write a mean letter to another little girl. And I caught her writing this letter. She didn't know this little girl, but she wanted to write the letter so that they liked her. She wanted to fit in. She was trying to find her place. And I understand why she did it, but we had to put the brakes on that real quick. So there's a couple things that we did. I went to her teacher right away and said, this is what's happening on the playground. Happened in kindergarten, by the way. This stuff happens so early, too young, way too young, but it's happening. So we made amends with the little girl. We set up a play date with her, and they became really good friends. And guess who she's no longer playing with? Those other girls. They have never been invited over to our home. We don't need that in our lives. She needs friends who are going to set good examples for her and won't ask her to do unkind things. So if you're worried about your child, if they're being a mean girl or a mean boy or bullying behaviors, talk to them about friendship. And that's what the whole next lesson is on. Lesson 5, the qualities of a good friend, what makes a good friend, how to be a good friend, how to find good friends, because you are the sum of about the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And for our kids, that's us. And then out of our control, it's their friends. So we want to ensure that they have these kind friends in place to encourage more kind behaviors. So we're talking to our kids about friendship and what makes a good friend, and friends don't make you do things that you don't want to do, and it's okay to say no to a friend. And if a friend says do this or I won't be your friend, or you can't play with me unless you do this, that's not a good friend. So explaining to our kids what makes a good friend, and they can say no, they can walk away from a friend if they're doing something or asking our kids to do something they know is not right. They can make the right choice for them. In our family, this is not how we do things, so you can walk away from your friend. Watch and listen to them play. When you invite kids over, listen to how your kids interact with them. It will tell you so much. You can talk to your child's teacher, ask them who they spend time with. Pay attention to those relationships. See if your kids are hanging out with kids who maybe can increase their kindness, or maybe will be getting them to do things that maybe aren't lining up with your family's values. And here's the trick with this. Kids who use social and aggressive behavior like this, who exclude and tease and limit and control who and what kids can do and who they can talk to and who they can be with, they're very, very smart, usually very smart, and they're a little manipulative, maybe a lot manipulative, and they're going to do it where you can't really see it, because they know not to do it in front of adults. So you're going to have to play a little detective. You're going to have to sleuth it a little bit. So reminding our kids, it's okay to say no. You don't have to do these things. And please know that if your child has been bullied, there are resources to help you. And here's the really scary part. Every child who is a bully has been bullied. Not all kids who've been bullied will become bullies, but all kids who are bullies were once bullied by an older sibling, a cousin, a parent, a teacher, a coach, somewhere. It's a learned behavior. So if your child is being bullied or around these mean girls, you have to be extra vigilant. You have to pay extra attention, because the likelihood that they're then going to use these behaviors on other people is very high. They've seen it. They've seen that it works. They've seen that there can be some power in it. It's awful power, but there's power in it. So we need to double down on our conversations with our kids and really pour into making sure that the behavior stops here. This was done to you and it's not okay, but we don't do this to other people. So if your child has been the victim of mean girl behaviors or unkind behaviors, bullying behaviors, bullies, really be extra vigilant to make sure they don't repeat those behaviors elsewhere. All right, in the next module, we are going to talk about how to help our kids deal with these mean kids, how to deal with bullies, how to deal with bullying behaviors on the playground. And this is one of the hardest parts about helping our kids stay kind, is when they deal with unkindness towards them. We're going to dive into that next.